name's Randy Wong. I'm from WAITIKI, and I'm pleased to present to you my my cocktail. It's the Tahitian Lana'i. It's a Batavia Arrack based Dole Pineapple, Tahitian Vanilla, Fresh Ginger Milk Punch. We'll be telling you about the history of the milk punch cocktail that inspired it and why I chose to put this together. Basically, you know, I grew up, born and raised in Hawaii, and so I was around Dole plantation. My family, Chinese, born in Hawaii, were Dole plantation workers. My father's first job was working in the cannery, and he used to always tell me about how fresh the Dole pineapples were. They'd sear his hands. I chose the flavors in this drink. You know, obviously Dole, known for its pineapples, the mecca of pineapples, so it's very pineapple forward, as probably a lot of drinks today will be. To draw on the Chinese Hawaiian influence, I chose fresh ginger, because ginger is associated with Chinese culture. And then I chose Tahitian vanilla, because you know, Tahiti is connected with the Polynesian pop tiki revival, and vanilla goes really well with pineapple. So what I did was I created a Boston colonial era milk punch. This is a recipe that dates back to the 18th century in Boston. I've been living in Boston for the last 10 years, so I wanted to bring a little bit of history. This is something where you don't usually get milk punches outside of Boston, so I thought this would be a great chance. What I do is I infuse a base spirit, in this case Batavia Arrack. Batavia Arrack, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a Indonesian spirit, pot stilled, similar to rums, because it's made with fermented sugarcane, but also with fermented Javanese red rice. And so if you'd like, you can smell the Batavia Arrack.
Smell? Can we taste it?
Yeah, you can taste it if you'd like. My assistant here, Tim, will help you out with that. The red rice gives it a slightly tartar flavor, and it's that tartar flavor that really works well with the pineapple. So what I do is I infuse the Batavia Arrack with the different flavorings. I use fresh Dole pineapple, whole Tahitian vanilla beans, and fresh ginger. I infuse that for 3 days, at which point I strain the solids, and I put the solids aside for other purposes. Next step is to create a rich simple syrup with the flavorings that were used in the infusion. So I took the whole Tahitian vanilla beans, the fresh ginger. I made a rich simple syrup using 2-to-1 sugar. And if you like, you can smell
vanilla beans in there
or taste the vanilla ginger syrup.
Oh, that's nice.
Next step is to bump up the citric acid concentration. So I used the pineapple chunks that we're infusing in the Batavia Arrack, along with canned Dole pineapple juice. Put it with equal parts of fresh lime juice. Mix that all up so that the citric acid concentration really gets high in the liqueur. The next step is to warm up milk, 180 degrees, just below scalding. Pour it into that. What happens is the citric acid helps to curdle the milk, so the liqueur is heavy from the rich simple syrup. That goes down, citric acid curds go up. It begins to separate itself. I separate the curds from the liqueur using a metal strainer, cheesecloth, coffee filters, and the result is this liquid. Now, what you might be wondering is, if we're going to separate the curds from the liqueur, why do a curdling process anyway? Well, historically, the reason why they did it was because they didn't have household refrigeration. We're talking 1711. Back then, no refrigerators, no electricity, no nothing. So they had to do something with their leftover dairy and citrus. And they said, hey, let's put it in the rum, strain it out, we end up with this great product. So why would I do it today? Well, aside from preserving historical record, the curdling process does two things. In terms of consistency, it adds body to the liqueur. So it turns it around, and you're able to drink it without mixing it into another cocktail liqueur. In terms of taste, it really helps to bind those things together. So you really get a full liqueur. So that's the milk punch. Next step is to serve it. good garnish is one that not only is visually appealing, but it's also adds taste to the cocktail, and maybe even ties in with the story of the cocktail. And that's what we're hoping to do here. What we're doing is kind of closing the loop on that story. Me growing up in Hawaii, we're running around in the pineapple and cane fields on the island of Lana'i, where the Dole plantation was. You feel this smoky, sweet smell in the air, and it's from the smoldering pineapple and the smoldering sugarcane. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dry smoke some cinnamon sticks in your glasses. The reason for doing that is a couple. First of all, in terms of taste, the cinnamon will help to bring out the vanilla notes in the milk punch. It also brings some smokiness without adding body by, sometimes in order to add that flavor, you do like a rinse of mezcal or a single malt, or you do a floater. But all that would change the consistency of the cocktail, and that's not what we wanted to do. The other thing is that it's cool. So let's see, where are my smoking glasses? I think they're... I smell them. They're coming.
Yeah. These three.
Okay.
I'll have another one.
Okay.
All the other three.
Just a taste, right?
These are just 1 ounce glasses. So when you begin at the top of the cocktail, you really get the pineapple and some ginger. And as you move down, as you get the smokiness in the cone, you'll start to get the cinnamon smoke, which will highlight the vanilla.
See what he was doing with the cinnamon.